Hello, everyone. It's Christine Trainor talking to you from New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada. As you can see, it's daylight, and it's another one of my everyday journeys. Today is November 17th, which is kind of a special day for me. Day 334 of my everyday journey. So welcome all. Welcome, and it's Sunday. Welcome, and it's Sunday. Awesome, right? And why not? Why enjoy it? I'm going to say one special thing, and then I'm going to say the reason why November 17th is always a special day for me. And it's nothing to do with work. It's nothing to do with my relationships. It's to do with other things, and I wanted to talk about that today. But first, I have to say my one little thing for this. And this is what I want to say. Because I embrace this wonderful day. So rejoice in happiness. Be patient in grief. Give true thanks for all you have on this beautiful Sunday. Now, the reason why this is a special day for me is because since I'm a mother, November 17th, 1983, I had my son. And now he's turned 36. Woo! I'll be seeing him later in a couple hours because he went out to be with his friends. So he wants to have Chinese food. I hope that's what happens. I don't see my son very often, even though he lives in the same, he lives on a different floor of this building where I live. But he's a busy person. I mean, he's 36 years old. He's still single, not a grandma yet. But I feel I'm a grandma to a lot of my lovely young friends' babies. So I'm always busy with other babies anyways. So I'm thinking though, this may be on a sad note, with this little family, which is our little family, I do believe Stephen will be the last one. My dad and my mom and my sister and I. Stephen will be the last of this family, which is kind of sad, but that's okay. I still say my aunt, I have a young cousin from my other cousin, so I have a second cousin, so that's kind of cool that maybe, and he had a girl, so that'll be good. But when you have a son, you're not always going to have children because they may stay single. My son is single. He likes to stay single. He likes to be on his own. So as a mother, I'm learning to understand that I might not have any grandchildren, and that's not a bad thing. I am thankful for my son. I truly am glad that I had him because I was 23 years old. I was very young. At that time, my mother didn't think I would be mature enough to have a baby, but at that time I was very mature and I really wanted to have a child. Sadly, of course, I didn't have another one, even though I did get pregnant when I was 38. I was quite overweight and sick and I had to have an abortion, which was sad because October is always hard months for me because that's when I had my abortion is on October. So I give all my love and my caring and my guidance towards my son. And I think we do that. I mean, I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. And then after that, when my son went to preschool, I decided to go to work and I worked steady ever since until I was like 50, and then I ended up having some health issues. But during those years when my son was young, I guided him all I could. I cared for him. I dealt with a lot of his issues because he was a little bit of a bugger. He would have tantrums when he was young. But I loved him. I love him dearly. Now at this age, in his 30s, it's a little bit different because you see he was living with his father for a while and his father had a stroke and now he's taking care of his dad. So he doesn't choose to get married. He just wants to live a single life. And I feel sad for that, but I can't tell him what to do. He is an adult. He is his own person. And I've always guided him and loved him whenever I could. I didn't push him. Maybe I could have pushed him a little bit to steer him away from things but he had to learn. I mean, hey, my parents taught me, and when I became 21, it was my life. I was an adult and I had to do my own thing. They steered me and they guided me whenever they could. But my life was my own life. And my parents' life was my parents' life. So I was trying to do the same thing when my son became an adult. I took care of him the best I could till he was about 20, 21. And then he lived on his own. He went to work as a security guard, which he still is. I'm kind of proud of that. He's been a security guard since he was 21. So he's been doing security for 15 years, and I think that's wonderful. Actually, no, since he was 20. So 16 years he's been in security, and he likes it because you don't have it's a tiring job because he has to be on his feet for quite a while. He has to really work hard, and he is in particular, he's in the cathedral place in Vancouver. That's where he works. And he's been to a few other places, but they like to see him there. So he's happy with his work, my son. And he enjoys what he does. I wish he could have done more, but that's my fault because I could have, would have, should have, right? And you don't think like that anymore. At that time of my life, when I was young and I had my son, I did the best I could. And I reared him up as well as I could, loving him and caring for him and understanding the way my parents brought me up. And I did mine a little differently. I didn't push him really hard. Like when I was young and I wanted to quit high school, my mother pushed me, told me. But my son didn't want to quit. He stayed in school and he achieved some pretty good marks. But sadly, he was into the gaming business. He loved video games, and he still is to this day. He's 36 years old. He's still into games, and he might be for the longest time, and until he meets somebody. I still believe that he'll meet somebody that sort of is on his level. He just hasn't met that right person because he's different around women. He finds it very hard to really be with them, though he tries his best. So he basically is single, and he likes it that way. And so that's life. And so as a mother, for all these 36 years of his life, I am thankful because he went through a time where he was very depressed, my son. He was so unhappy that he had suicidal thoughts for the longest time, and I felt really scared for him. And so I was there for him always, especially when he fell and he broke his ankle. He was drinking a little bit, and so he fell down the stairs and he screwed up. Luckily, he was able to get some insurance for that for about 3 months until he went back to work. And so he was okay. He went back to work as security work, but to this day he limps. That's an injury he didn't need to have, but that he learned. Now my son doesn't drink a whole lot, and he's very careful for what he does. And he probably went out and had a little bit of drinks. Maybe he went and did his own thing. Who knows what he was up to today? I hope he gets back home because he wanted to have Chinese food. So I was hoping he'd be back later on for Chinese. But you know what, guys? This is my son's day to do what he wants. And if he wants to do his own thing, then fine. I see him whenever I can. I love him for all my heart because as a mother, we have unconditional love regardless. And we guide and love our children the best way we know how. I'm not a perfect mom. I could have done better. But you know what? At that time, like I said, in my life, that's how it was. So when I'm with my friends and I see them with their children, I just spend time with them. I talk to them. I talk to them and relate to them as friends, and I treat the beautiful little ones as if they were my grandkids because I have a niece who really loves me, and I haven't seen my nephew for a while, and my one friend who has a little boy, and I tell you, he's just so attached to my sweet Masood as well as me, and he's kind of like a grandson to me. So it's wonderful because I'm like her adopted mother because her mother passed away over a year ago. So it's kind of a wonderful thing to be a grandmother for other little ones, even if I don't have my own. So I don't get upset over that because my son is his own person, and as long as he knows I'm there for him, I care for him, I will be there for him always because we always have unconditional love for our children, right? That's the main thing. And I brought up my son the best way I knew how because I was mostly on my own because my ex was an alcoholic and he very rarely was home. So I would be working, babysitting, taking care of the babies. I paid a babysitter, and then I was a busy mom for a lot of years, and I don't regret those years because I learned an awful lot. I understood a bit more. I learned to understand what my son was going through. Sadly, he's very introverted, and I feel sad for that. But he's still getting on with his life. He's still working steady. 16 years as a security guard. His income is pretty good. It's not bad. He's learning right now to live his life the way he wants to live it, and he's taking care of his dad because his dad's in the home. So he's doing the best he can in his life, but I'll always be there for my son. So today I celebrate my son Stephen Michael Trainor, who turned 36 today, November 17th, his birthday, of course. And I wanted to share this with you all about my son Stephen. I don't have a picture because it's hard to get a picture of him. All my pictures are really, really when he was really young. I wanted to show a more recent picture of him, but he does not like his picture taken. He's a bit of a bugger. But I guarantee you I do have a son. It's just, he doesn't like, I wanted to show him. So, but I celebrate my son Stephen's birthday today, for I truly love him. I love him with all my heart. So that is what I want to share with you today. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this interesting little, and it's Sunday, which is kind of a nice day to celebrate my son's birthday too. But make today a great day in your everyday journey, because only you can make a great day. All you mothers and fathers out there with your little ones in tow, or your mothers and fathers who have adults too, as kids, children, adult children. We're so blessed to have children in our lives. Okay, I will see you tomorrow on day 335 of my everyday journey. I hope you didn't mind me chatting away about my son Stephen, who I dedicate this everyday journey to today. See you tomorrow. Bye.